Hello, and welcome to the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. I am so glad you decided to join us today. This is episode 5 of season 3, Being a Black Woman, part 3. I am your host, Janessa A. Henderson, and again, we are so glad that you decided to join the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. Please leave us a review. Please share this episode with anyone you believe it will help. All right, let's get into it. This episode is not going to be long because it's going to be a part 2 or like not a part 2, I would say, but it's not going to be long. I'm not going to dwell on it, but this is something that Black women have to deal with a lot of times. So let's get into it. This is going to be being a Black woman. I'm trying to find the right word to say, but the misconception of the Black woman, basically. This is the misconception of the Black woman, where we're going to talk about the angry Black woman that everybody, just wants to pull out. But these are misconceptions of Black women. And the angry Black woman is a part of that. So, for me, all my life, I've been a Black woman. Black girl, Black, everything. So, I would say misconceptions, the main one is the angry Black woman complex. Anytime I feel like a lot of times when I have been disrespected, I have been done wrong, and I'm not even angry or mad. I'm just defending myself. Anytime I'm defending myself, it's viewed as I'm angry, I'm mad, you're the angry Black woman. And so I have to make a conscious decision, and I've had to do this literally since I was a child, y'all. And most Black women can say the same, that they've had to defending themselves. They've had to maybe be conscious of how they're saying stuff or what they're saying, because people misconstrue it as being angry or being upset or just being mad. So my face, since I was born, first, y'all, when COVID is still real out here, but when we were all wearing masks all the time, that was the one time where I was able to cover up my facial expressions. So basically, my face shows it all, okay? So if you say something a little crazy, it's gonna be showing in my face. If you say something funny, I'm gonna try to hold my laughter in, but it's gonna show in my face. My students get it all the time. They'll say funny stuff, and I'm just trying to be professional. And they look at her, she tried to be professional. They'll say this because that's what it is. My face will show it all. Or if I'm irritated with something and you didn't say something crazy, I'm more than likely going to show it on my face. So my face, my mouth has got the deliverance part, but my face expression still show it. And my child, I passed it on to my child, actually, and I feel like my mother passed it on to me because my mother has facial expressions too. And so she passed it on to me, and then I wasn't trying to give my child my facial expressions, but Carrie got some facial expressions. She be looking at people crazy. So, when I be talking to her crazy. But anyway, moving on. But I have what most people would call a resting face. I'm not going to say the curse word because I don't curse, but my face may look mean. Like, I might, but it's really because my mind is always thinking of something. Like, I'm always thinking of, okay, so I'm not overwhelmed. It's just like I always have something on my mind. It's not just like where I'm just sitting in la la land. I'm like, something is always on my mind. So I'm always in a thinking state, if that makes sense. But I also, like, growing up, people would say I smiled fake. So I feel like going around with a smile on your face, even if you happy, but going around with a smile on your face, just smiling the whole time, I feel like that's fake. Like, for me, I don't knock anybody who does it, but I just feel like that's fake. So I'm going to be me. And, like, it really irritates me because guys try to date you. Oh, you're mean, you're stuck up. Or people try to say you're mean and stuck up, but they don't know you. Like, but they're quick to say that about black women. It's just real quick. Just real, cause then we get that lead into the angry black woman. Oh, she's just angry. She's just an angry black woman. She's just bitter. No, my face literally just is like, it may look stern, but I'm the goofiest, silliest person. People who really know me, I'm the goofiest, silliest person. Now, I'm gonna pray you. It's a time and place for everything. I'm gonna pray for you. But I'm a joke most of the time. Like, I'm sarcastic. Like, this is just Janessa. Like, I can only be me. I'm not trying to be anybody else but me. And so when people try to assert this one thing and say, oh, you're mean, you're this. Now, it's times I can be mean. I am stern. I don't play no games in my classroom. I don't play no games when, like, I'm a passionate person when it comes to, like, the things that I'm giving. Like, I take stuff seriously, especially if I've been given a task, like, say, as to teach children. That is something that I take to heart. Or, like, I'm a step coach. I take that to heart. I'm not going to sugarcoat. Like, y'all look bad. Let's get it together. We gonna run this step again. Like, my responsibilities are important to me. The things that I commit to are important to me. So, just like with intercession and ministry of dance at church, like, it's something that is seriously, like, this is a charge that the Lord has given to me. So I'm not going to take it lightly at all. So, my face, really, again, it may look like Scar. Okay, I'll give y'all an example so you get a visual. My face may look like Scar. How he was looking all the time when Simba was born and everything. He knew he wasn't finna be next in line and nothing like that. How he was looking mad. That's how my face might look. Okay, it's pretty, but it might look like that. Okay, but my personality is goofy. Like, checking, like, if you're from Memphis, you know what checking is, but basically poking fun at people, like, in a joyful way, like, not being malicious or anything. Like, I'm sarcastic. I'm gonna be sarcastic. I think it's the English, because I have an English degree in me. Excuse me, I may throw shade at my students. That's just an English teacher. But, like, my personality is unique to me. But I am farthest from being like an angry black woman, which people try to portray, but that's not the case. So, because of my face. And so, like, growing up, I've had this face my whole life. Like, I'm 30 something years old. I've had it my whole life. That's not going to change. So it's either you like it or you don't. Like, I'm not going to compromise who I am for anyone. And a lot of times we're told as young Black girls that we need to look a certain way, or that we need to do this. And like, when I was growing up, I'll say, before I accepted the call to teach, I was thinking that being a lawyer was my calling, or what God wanted me to do. And so back when like from second grade on up, even now, sometimes I'll argue with a signpost. My mom will tell you, like, that's my mouth was what got me in trouble. It was like smart, everything. So defending myself was something I felt like I always had to do, because there was nobody else ever doing it except for like my mom, my dad, sometimes my brother, here or there. But like, I felt like as a Black woman, or like a young Black girl, like being the only Black girl growing up in a class, being the only Black girl, I was always having to defend myself, because I was always looked at as the person who did dumb stuff in the class, and it wasn't me. Or accused because I was Black. Like, what? And so growing up, when I becoming a young woman and everything, like that angry Black woman, like era, whatever, like that type of saying really irritated me, because I'm like, but do you really think she's angry? Now, there are women that are angry, that are Black, but there's not just Black women that are angry. There's Hispanic, there's Caucasian, there's Asian, like women that may be angry. Like, they have a right to be angry, whatever the case may be. But I feel like every time, like, say I go into a store, and I have been into a store, and I'm telling somebody this is not the price of whatever, half the time, just like with the first episode of this being a Black woman, the part one, with the first episode when we were talking about Black maternal health and Black women in healthcare, people don't listen to people of color. Most people do not listen to us until we are yelling, until we are raising our voice, until we're saying something. That's when people are listening to us. And so, that being said, it's like, if that's all I know my whole life, that so-and-so is going to listen to me if my voice is elevated, then maybe that's why women might be not even yelling, but their voice may be elevated, because that's what they've known their whole life, because they've seen it with their mothers, their grandmothers, people not listening to women of color. Firstly, people not listening to women. We have a history of that. But then you're Black too. Like, you got another reason why they probably won't listen to you. Like, you just look at the simple fact of the police brutality cases that we've had where Black women were not listened to. Of course, Black men, I'm not downplaying the Black men in justice cases, but I'm a Black woman, so that's where I can speak from. But like, you look at Sandra Bland and you look at Breonna Taylor, who weren't listened to, and that caused their demise. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy for people to put this label and say, well, all Black women are angry. I don't like to do, like, that's just like me saying all Caucasian people are racist, or all Caucasian people, do this, or all Black people are late, or all Black people are broke. That's putting a restraint on a group of people is crazy to me. Like, I despise when people do that. But if you're going to say that Black women are angry, let's go back and deconstruct why we might be angry. If that is true, if black women are angry, let's deduce what could be the cause. Like, why would a black woman be angry? Let's think about it. First, she was stolen over here, you know, from being a royalty, most of them. And then she's having to have kids with a master, or being used for sexual pleasure with a master, have kids with them. The kids are not acknowledged by the master. She don't know where half of kids are. Some of the kids are taken. She don't like the husband she had. He's stolen away, taken. And it's just constant dehumanization. Then we get out of slavery. We get to the Jim Crow era. They're constantly trying to kill the black men off. So now black women are left unprotected because the people are lynching the black men. And now black women are having to do it all for themselves because there's no protector. There's no where's the black men? Because you've lynched them mostly. So black women have had a history of having to figure it out and do it themselves. So if they angry, I feel like if any black woman is angry, it's justified. You know, like, not really. I wouldn't say it's justified, but because you have to let go and have forgiveness. But if you're going to say that, let's look at the reason why that may be. Look at the perspective, at a different perspective and angle, instead of saying, oh, she's angry, she's this, she's bitter. Let's look at the whole picture of what could have caused it, and then let's get to the root of it, to solving it, to where that person is not angry anymore. Not just saying black women, but just people in general. Let's look at the bigger picture of what somebody could be going through before you just say the angry black woman. But a lot of times, like in professional settings, in educational settings, I talked about education last time, I've had to, even in defending myself, make sure that I'm not being, angry, or like being viewed as angry. But I already know, like, even defending myself, it doesn't matter if I defend myself with a whisper. It's been viewed, like, I've already know in some instances, it's been viewed as, you're the angry black woman. And that's something we have to change. Like, as a society, like, this is a societal issue that needs to change. Like, let's not just look at the black woman as angry. Let's look at the black woman as being strong. And it was something I read the other day, and it was really profound to me. It was like, I don't want my children to think mommy was strong and had to handle it all. I want her to know, I want to see her being loved and nurtured. But that goes back to the family construct and, different things, like black men are being taken away, and not just black men, just men. It's just so much easier. It's so much advantages of being single, a lot of times. And, in society, like, I think my it's expected. It's not even it's like, okay, she has a child, so she definitely had that child out of wedlock. Oh, why can't I be an ex-wife? Which I am. Like, why it's just automatically assumed that because I'm black, because I have a child, I don't have a ring, and my status is well, most people didn't know the status, but like, whatever the case may be, people automatically assume that I was just out here with 10 different kids, and or they think that about, and even if they did have their kids out of wedlock, black women are not the only ones having kids out of wedlock. And it's like a lot of pressure, or not pressure. Yeah, it is pressure. It's pressure. It is also, what's the other word? It's like a magnifying glass and microscope is being put on the lives of black people, in America, and anything you do is viewed as being combative. Anytime you go against a system that is shown as, and I've dealt with this recently, anytime you go against a system that is shown and definitely flawed and fraud, and you go against it, you speak against it, oh, you angry. Oh, it's something wrong with, she's crazy. Or, it's something wrong because you're going against, you're like, well, I'm not going to bow down to that. It's so much that is constantly drilled in us. And if you're not delivered from trauma, because a lot of times things that happened as a child that you didn't realize, do you realize now is trauma, and you have to be delivered from it. And I had to really go back and be like, why does this irritate me so much? And I had to go back to when I was in elementary school, and the teacher told me that I was being fast because I had a skirt on, but another girl of another race wasn't. And if I had defended myself, which I tried to, I was told I was talking back and talking smart. Or anytime, and I just look at anytime I was rightfully defending myself on something, I was always viewed as the aggressor, even in professional settings. And it's just why? And I thought to myself, well, if I was another color, would that even be an issue? Would that even be a problem? And I highly doubt it. So it's something we have to think about, something we have to change. And I hope that changes. View everyone as people. You're all children of God. And just because somebody may be defending themselves doesn't mean they're an angry black woman, Now, again, like I said, there are angry black women out there. But let's go back and look at the root. What could have caused them to be angry? What could have been the reason why they're bitter? Let's get them some help, So, I hope you were able to get something out of this episode of where I'm just talking about, I can't talk really specifically about some stuff, just because, well, I can, just not right now. I'll probably go into that into another episode, but just not right now. But just know that people have definitely tried to view and paint me as the angry black woman. And I'm like, just because I'm not smiling fake, cheesing, literally just, I wish I could see me just literally just smiling. That's so fake to me. I want to be authentically Janessa. That's what I want to be. So I'm going to be me. And you might get this mug, but it's not like I'm really mean mugging you, it's just my natural face. But once you get to know me, I'm one of the craziest people, not in a bad way, but the funniest person that you'll meet. I try to be funny. I think I'm a comedian in my head. But just saying, I feel like I'm pretty dope, you know? So, anyway, I hope that this episode was able to help you get like an insight into the angry black woman, and hopefully you won't view every single person of a race as one thing. Not all white people are evil. Not all, this type of people, the stereotypes and things. Let's break those stereotypes. Let's break those barriers down, and remember that we're all children of God. And like in heaven, it's going to be all of us. It ain't going to be no segregated section. You're going to be, we're going to be all together. But your heart got to be in the right place to get to heaven. Because if you have issues with somebody down here, your heart ain't in the right place. So you got to get your heart in the right place. Make sure you're not viewing a certain group of people as one thing, and get to know the people. Get to know them before you just pass judgment on the person and say, oh, they're angry. Oh, they're this. So I hope this helped you, and I'll see you next time on the next episode of the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast.